Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We will get you out of here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. With us is Chris Ruffolo with us. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Big Al McMorty. Back from the Rose Bowl. We've got our man Dana Lane. We'll be signing in the bottom of the hour. Wayne Scott. Of course, Brad Francis coming in on a Wednesday. And Rod Zawacki. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Ruffolo, Mitch, McMorty, Scott, Francis, Zawacki, Lane. And then I will close this one out. All right, on the board tonight, we've got 12 from the NBA. Few from hockey, but the monster college basketball cards are here. Conference play has begun. So let's get this show underway. Let's go welcome in Chris Ruffolo. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Room. We'll bring Chris in right now. Let's get him here in just a second. Had a good conversation with him before the show, but we'll get him in here for you here on the drive-thru today on a Wednesday. Chris, what's happening?
Tony, like you said, you and I were talking, and we're starting to realize that college basketball, the conference season, finally upon us, and Saturday's 144-game card is just evidence of that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's so much college hoops going on right now, and I know we'll be ready for it here. It's just you think about it right now. We're just February, March, 3 months away from the Final Four. So we're not too. It gets here quick. It's quick. We had college hoops in November, but now it's really jam packed with conference play. But hockey gives us a short card. Of course, we've got TNT out here now doing national broadcast. So we got a doubleheader. We're going to get coverage of both games. Chris give us coverage here. Game 1, Devils and Capitals here. We see the Devils favor on the road -170, total 6.5. Sorry, that would yours the Duck game, right? Yeah, you have the Duck game.
You know what? It's okay. I can give you I can give you this one too.
Oh no, Rod would not like that. Rod wouldn't like that too much. you want to get Rod rolling already? He would not like
I know.
That.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I said it.
Oh, that's why you said it. You wanted to get Rod rolling.
Look. It's been a while since the Puck Dogs have had a skirmish along the board. So.
Yes, it has been. It's been a while, but here we go. Ducks and Maple Leafs here. This is the one here. Maple Leafs big favorites on the road here, 208. Total sits at 7.
Yeah, Tony, this is an interesting one, not because I'm a Leafs fan, but it's because of all the turmoil the Leafs have been dealing with. They had their top goaltender, Ilya Samsonov. It just didn't work out for him. He went into arbitration in the offseason, tried to get a big contract, didn't get it, and didn't really earn it this year. Now he was placed on waivers. Leafs look like they're rolling with Martin Jones, and with Joseph Wall on the shelf, they're turning to their rookie, it looks like, Dennis Hildeby, who's probably going to make his NHL debut tonight. And I couldn't think of a better opponent for Hildeby to start against. Hildeby, a 6'7" goalie. This guy's massive. He takes up a lot of the net. He does have some things that he has to polish, just like any real rookie does. But again, the Anaheim Ducks are a great opponent to do that with and to sort of get your feet wet with, because this Ducks team just flat out stinks, looking like the Anaheim Ducks that we've seen over the last couple of years. They've scored 2 goals or less in 6 of their last 10 games, and in 4 of the 5 games of this homestand, they're 1-4 in the 5 games so far of this 8-game homestand that they're on. And Toronto, they just picked up a big win over the Los Angeles Kings last night, and normally not a big fan of the Leafs on a back-to-back, but this Leafs team now has to start picking it up because right now they're a game above 500, and I think the Leafs just need to start getting their act together. They haven't been playing great, but the Anaheim Ducks on the second half of a back-to-back don't intimidate me here. I'm going to take the Maple Leafs, but I'm going to take them to win this one in regulation. Don't necessarily want to go chasing a puck line with a Maple Leafs team potentially starting a rookie goaltender tonight, or if it's not it'll be Jones on a back-to-back, but I do think the Leafs have enough offensively to get it done. So give me the Maple Leafs in regulation, -135.
All right, we got Chris here on the Maple Leafs in regulation. They must win in 60 minutes to get the money here, -135 against a Ducks team that is just, again, I don't know what's happening with this franchise. It just seems that these now that we've gotten to this, we moved into a faster game. The Kings figured it out. Rob Blake, the general manager, the Ducks are still just not getting it done.
I don't know why, because this team has all the young talent they can handle. They've got solid pieces. They've got guys like Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras. There's some solid pieces there, but again, they can't put it together. And part of me wonders if it's just that they just are too stubborn to move away from John Gibson as your goaltender. The guy's not the answer. And Anaheim, it just, when you create a losing culture like this, no free agent come to Anaheim, even if you offer him a DA. So right now the Anaheim Ducks are just I think they're trying to build it from the ground up, but they're not doing much building. And it's spots like these where the Leafs and other teams that need wins have to take advantage of them, and I think that's probably what they do tonight.
Looks like that way. All right, Chris, I believe in regulation must win in 60 minutes. Minus 135 against the Ducks. This one tonight here at 9 Eastern time. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Stream for tonight's action. Of course, we do have games on the board here from college hoops, the big card, and of course, conference play has begun. NBA comes in with a 12-game card, handful here from on the ice. Chris doing great work in the NBA, also showing great profit over the last 7 days. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, Tony, it's all basketball for me tonight. Got a 3-pack for the NBA. Also got my play of the day, $25 from the NBA, and I got a 3-pack for college hoops with the best value. Hop on a long-term pass. We've got a loaded weekend ahead, like Tony and I were mentioning earlier, with a big college hoops card. So definitely make sure you check that out, whether it's just with me or pair me up with someone else, part of the multi-capper promotion at Pick Dogs Premium.
That's right, guys. Got to go with Chris over at Pick Dogs Premium. Long-term passes. Remember, we got NFL playoffs coming up. A lot of the NBA up there as well. 1 month pass will get you the bulk of the playoffs here all the way up until the Super Bowl. When you get that 1 month all sports pass, remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, Chris, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know we can catch a lot of your written work over at Pick Dogs. We can also catch your video work with your NHL video show and more.
Yeah, Tony, tons of stuff going on. Like you said, tons of articles. You can see at the bottom of the screen. You want to make sure that you're subscribed so you get notified when the freshest content drops. Whether it's daily videos, the long-form videos like Ron's Rundown or Jay's Jam Session or my wraparound for the NHL. Tons of content. And yeah, like you said, tons of written content at Pick Dogs as well. So definitely make sure you go and check those out.
Yeah, check them out, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when these videos drop, you get them right away. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
As well. Chris Ruffolo here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue up next. Let's welcome in Mitch. Catch him in the mornings here at Pick Dogs Premium. Also, his video series as well, air as well here on the network. You want to check out his 7 picks in 5 minutes and a lot more. We'll bring Mitch in here to ready to roll here with some college hoops action. Mitch, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. It just seems like these months starting in September, running all the way through the end of March Madness, it's just always one big blur. And it's like, you look at the calendar and you're like, I can't believe it's January 3rd already, and it's like because we know it's going to be January 28th before we even blink, because, as you and Chris were talking about, conference play starting in college basketball. This is the best of college basketball. A lot of people believe that the NCAA tournament is everything. The NCAA tournament is like one of the great events in sports, but I believe conference play in college basketball and the conference basketball season is, the weekend schedule is better than the NCAA tournament. The matchups that you'll get in the opening few rounds, which is, most people consider the best part of college hoops, and just some great matchups, teams built to play one another. So you're going to see that. And, of course, the NBA full swing. They came out of, that Christmas Eve day off, and they have really not taken a break since. Tomorrow, just a 2-game schedule in the NBA, but then they come back with, everybody playing again on Friday. And that's just the way that they've been. It's been a heavy hitter year for the NBA. My guess is it's going to be an extended all-star break. Again, I don't know how that's going to work, but, that in-season tournament they had, kind of a lot of teams had breaks there. So, plus we got, this year is a very special year for all of us in the sports betting industry. We got an extra day to bet on sports on February 29th.
Yes, we do. We get an extra day indeed to bet on sports. No doubt about that. We're looking forward to that. And, of course, we're going to do this matchup here. ACC here, Miami and Clemson going head-to-head here. We see Clemson, the short favorite here on the road, at total 155.5.
This line has moved up all the way to 1.5 at spots, and then it came back down to 1. Of course, the big news for Miami is Nigel Pack and Woogie Poplar, and their status for this one. Poplar was injured in that North Florida game last time out, and he came out of the game early. It was North Florida, so they didn't test it, do anything like that. He was in pain when he left the floor. He's been listed as questionable, and Pack has been out as well. But looking at the way this line is, my guess is either one or both of them is likely to play. But at the end of the day, this Miami team has been underrated for years at this point, really the most underrated team in all of college basketball the last 2 seasons. When you look at things like the Ken Pom rankings and things like that, these guys are ranked 50 plus, and they were last year as well. So they don't get the notoriety by a lot of the sharps and insiders and things of that nature. But I'll tell you what, out on the court, they always deliver, and they have been delivering for years at this point. 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament, they lost in the Elite Eight in a game that they led at halftime against eventual champion Kansas. Last year, they lost to UConn in the Final Four. So both times they've exited the NCAA tournament, losing to the eventual national champion. And both those national champions were convincing winners in the national championship. No one was going to beat either of those two teams. But the thing is that this Canes team is battle tested, and they have played against the big boys. And we've seen them have 2 games this year where they got really beaten up like we haven't seen happen to them in recent years. But both those games were on the road. One of those at Rupp Arena in Lexington, where I got news for you. A lot of teams get beaten up at Rupp Arena over the years. And another place where they got beaten up was at the Barclays Center by Colorado, who was just absolutely unstoppable that night. But overall, this Miami team is one of the best teams at shooting threes in the nation. They are also one of the top teams at defending the three. So while they don't have the size inside, and they don't have a guy over 6'8" on the entire team, but what they do have are guys that can seriously defend the perimeter. And that's why teams shoot like ridiculously low percentages against Miami from outside. Clemson lives outside, and Miami lives outside too. But the issue that Clemson has in this one is that Miami only allows teams to shoot 26.4% from outside. And at home, I expect them to be D'ing up like no one's business. I'll tell you what, this is the type of game that Miami wins. They've beaten Clemson the last 3 times that they've played them. And, the team that went to the Final Four last year, only one player from that team that contributed significant minutes is not on this team, and that's Wong. But outside of him, every single player from that Final Four team is back. This Miami team is stacked, and the deeper we get into conference play, the more that I wouldn't want to mess with these guys at all. That's why, teams like Duke, North Carolina, they come into Miami. They've been busted up for the last several years, as long as Jim Larinaga has been the coach at Miami. When you look at Miami's record there, 9 in a row straight up at home. I think you just take Miami here. You can take the money line. You can get plus money if you shop it. I see as high as plus 104 at places like Rush. Bet Rivers, but I also see like you have it here at minus 104, minus 105 range. And I think, the more that we start seeing this minus 104, minus 105, and my guess it might even be a pick 'em by the time the game goes, it's just more confidence that Pack or Poplar or both are playing in this game. And Canes, better coach, home, all those things going for him. I like Miami in this one.
All right, Miami says Mitch says go ahead and take Miami in this one here against Clemson. When you look at Clemson non-conference schedule, it's usually Cupcake City, but this year they play some pretty difficult schedule. At Alabama, win. At Pitt, well, it's usually not the strongest team. We saw South Carolina on the schedule.
That's in conference. Pitt's in conference.
That's right. Pitt's in conference. That's right. Pitt's in conference. Right. Is it? Yeah, it is showing conference. That is a conference game. That was a conference game. One of those early December games. And we're seeing TCU in there as well. Memphis. Something different from this Clemson team. We're seeing some heavyweights in the non-conference.
Oh, no, Clemson is a good team, and we've seen them, like you said, outside the conference. Alabama, hardly the team that we've seen in the past, but going into Stedman and beating them, badly by 8 points in a game they were getting 8.5, not to be taken lightly. TCU, always a little overrated. Didn't get it done against Memphis, but, at the same time, I thought last time out against Radford, in a game they were laying 15.5, super impressive to beat them by, almost 40 points. So, I don't think we take anything away from Clemson in this one. And if the game's being played at Little John, maybe we feel a little differently. But Miami at home has been, been lights out. We're talking about a Final Four team here. This isn't like, number 9 in the ACC. Like people were, this is like the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves, where people are still regarding them as like a play-in team or something. These are the best of the best, an Elite 8 and a Final Four, not a Big Ten team even remotely close to that. But, you'll look at Purdue and all these other guys, number 1 and all this other stuff. Not even a whiff of what the Canes have accomplished over the last few years. Not a team in the entire freaking conference. They've done more than Duke has. It's the same players that were on the court last year. The same guys in the tournament, the big stars, Nigel Pack, Omer, these were the guys, and these are the guys they have out on the court. The only thing that's happened is they've added the Cleveland from Florida State, the transfer in. The guys they lost in the transfer portal were not guys that were going to see the floor or have seen significant minutes for this team.
There you go, Mitch, here on Miami -104 against Cubs. I have to get your thoughts here, Mitch, because we won't talk until the championship game is over. We're going to see Monday night's game here early, Michigan and Washington. Thoughts?
I'm rooting for Washington, but I don't love their chances in this one. I think if they can get, Penix can create time in the pocket, then they should be able to get guys open downfield. If the refs call it legitimately, I think they have a puncher's chance. Obviously, Alabama and Texas, the two teams that, were controversial to get into the playoffs, not all that quite deserving of being there. And I thought if Florida State should have been there, and however they figure it out between Alabama and Texas, that's a different story, and Georgia. But Florida State definitely deserved to be there, and I think they would have given them a much better game than Bama. They were a better team this year. And I think, I think one thing we could say about Alabama and the Michigan game, and, I've been critical of Michigan for a long time because they've accomplished absolutely zero in my lifetime. And, that's a long time. They've won half a national championship that they split with a team that won 3 national championships in 4 years. They would have beat the living daylights out of Michigan that year. Tommy Frazier's Nebraska team. They beat Florida 56-14 the following year in the Fiesta. That year that they split with Michigan, they beat Miami outright in the Orange Bowl, and that was the Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp Miami team that they beat. And so, I seriously doubt Michigan would have been even in the discussion with them in that game. But anyways, to come back to this particular Michigan team and this year, I think you have to give them a lot of credit. And you could say anything you want about Alabama's horrible play call and the bad snaps and all that other stuff. You're up by 7 points late in the game. Michigan went right down the field and scored a touchdown on you. Yep. You don't deserve to win. Yep. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I thought Texas was fortunate to be able to get a chance to dress it up at the end. But they were just dumped on all game. Basically, all they did was watch the Oklahoma film, and the strategy was, let's see how far Penix can throw the ball, and just throw it as far as you can every single play. We used to have a kid in high school that played on our baseball team that played left field, and he would come in and pitch relief, and we just used to tell him, just throw it as hard as you can, and that's what was the strategy to Michael Penix in that playoff game. Just throw it as far as you can because they have safeties covering your NFL caliber wide receivers. It's a bad strategy. You got a shitty coach and a really stupid strategy here. And I have never seen receivers that open except for the Joe Burrow game, with LSU with, Jefferson and Chase and, and everybody else. But I haven't seen receivers that open in a game that far down the field. In teams ranked that high. And if it was Florida State in there, no chance that they would be able to do that.
The route. I mean, it's those receivers, also the route running. Those receivers are fantastic. They're for a while. We've known this for a while. Here we go with Mitch here. Miami.
Washington doesn't get a lot of credit, and a lot of people, they don't understand the size and the magnitude of that program. And when you have, Steve Sarkisian, who was given the keys to that program and fell flat on his face at Washington, you have to just remember that this guy has never gotten it done either at any level. It's not like, there's certain coaches out there that have worked their way up. And even Jim Harbaugh, you could say to some degree, because he coached at San Diego State, has somewhat at least worked his way up. He's been given the breaks, from there. It's like he went San Diego State, Michigan.
San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The D2 team.
49ers, right? Yeah. I mean, he's been given, he's been given breaks that normal people don't get, right? Because of his name, his pedigree, and his family, and all that other stuff.
He went right to Stanford after San Diego. Yeah.
But, at the same time, he worked his way up through the ranks. Steve Sarkisian was given USC, Washington, Texas. These are 3 heavy hitter programs, and this guy has accomplished absolute dog shit. At those programs.
You know why? It's the Pete Carroll tree, right? Oh, you work for Pete Carroll. It was usually.
Well, yeah, and he was great under Nick Saban as an offensive coordinator. So was I.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so was I. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's ridiculous. You know, Mario Cristobal was a great offensive line coach under Nick Saban. You know, Lane Kiffin was a great offensive coordinator under Nick Saban. I'll tell you what, give me Reggie Bush and Pete Carroll's offense. I could probably create some plays that he could create some long runs on. Just get him into 5 yards of space. It's like Michael Jordan. You get him into space and let him create. He's probably one of the top 5 college football players of all time.
Yeah.
He was one of the best high school football players of all time. It wasn't like a big surprise.
Liner could thank the offensive line for USC for getting him a shot in the pros. They don't have that line.
I mean, and also the same thing, the dunk passes to Reggie Bush that look like 70-yard touchdowns, that it's all Reggie Bush dancing around in space. No one could touch that guy, you know?
Yeah.
No one could touch it.
No one, that's all. That was one of the most exciting players in college football in some time, Reggie Bush. All right, Mitch, you're on the Miami tonight, money line here, as he's mentioned here. Let me know what's going on over at Pick Dogs as we calendar flips to 2024.
Well, our cappers are off to one of the hottest starts I've ever seen. Almost all the guys with winning records. It's like I was up like plus 107 plus 1.7 units last night, and I didn't even hit like the top 20. As far as like performance. So I'm more than willing to take a back seat because I know we have the best cappers in the game at Pick Dogs, and it's like these guys are red hot. So it's like I know a lot. I'm a buy low guy, but I know a lot of people are buy high guys, and so if you want to buy high, just throw a dart at the Pick Dogs leaderboard. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there picking a lot of winners, and a lot of those guys are on the show tonight. So jump on board.
That's right, guys. Check us out over at Pick Dogs. Use promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. All right, Mitch, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you next week. And, of course, we'll catch your video series as well.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, Big Al McMorty. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Excited game he went to at the Rose Bowl. Big Al, the weather worked out. We got the rain through, and you got some nice weather there for the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We were on the side of the field that had the sun, so it was, you were kind of squinting for the first half. But, it's one of those games I always say it's a great game if your team wins, and it's a crap game if your team loses.
Oh, yes.
It was a great game.
That was a great game to watch. I can imagine that. They need to upgrade that. I've been to the Rose Bowl. I would say they probably still need to upgrade that facility a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I actually, I was at the Ohio State-Michigan game at the Big House back in November, so, you can kind of compare the two facilities. They upgraded Michigan's about maybe 10, 15 years ago. It's really, really, really nice now, much nicer than when I was at school there. But yeah, I mean, I like I'd much rather go to the Rose Bowl or Michigan Stadium than go to, for example, NRG Stadium where you're sitting up in nosebleed if you've got a bad ticket. I mean, there's not a bad seat in the house at the Rose Bowl.
No, there isn't. Yeah, it's really built well to watch for spectators, right? Before all the suites came in and everything, it's a great experience to watch a football game, no doubt about that. Big Al there at we'll get us tomorrow on the game a little bit more, but tonight we just want to get his experience there at the Rose Bowl, watching that great game between Michigan and Alabama. And of course, we're going to college hoops tonight. Big Al, we got Western Carolina and the Citadel going head to head here. We got Western Carolina laying 3 on the road, total 137.5.
Yeah, I'm sure this is the game that everyone wants to hear about, but it's the Southern Conference opener for both of the schools. Western Carolina 3-point road favorite. These two teams met twice last season, and the Bulldogs actually upset the Catamounts in both of those games. They won 65-61 as a 1.5-point home underdog, and then they went into Colaway and they upset the Catamounts 81-70 as a 7.5-point road underdog. And I like playing on teams in the conference openers, which were upset in the two previous meetings the previous year. These teams playing with double revenge off upset losses the previous year. They're 62.9% since 1991. So that bodes well for the road favorite here. And then the other thing is Citadel's off a win over the Toccoa Falls Screaming Eagles. But they're 0-10 ATS at home off a win in their previous game. So I'm going to go against the Citadel. I'm going to take Western Carolina.
All right, Mitch, we got Big Al McMorty says go ahead and take Western Carolina here on the road here against the Citadel. in this one. Of course, Big Al, Chris, with the database, you pretty much cap all the conferences in college hoops, independents as well.
Everything, yes. How else would I have 20 plays on a Saturday in college basketball if I'm not handicapping all the games?
There you go, from Big Al. Every game, indeed. So we get deep in this conference here in the SoCal with Big Al McBoarty here on the Western Carolina here, -3 here against the Citadel tonight, 7 Eastern time. Watch it over on ESPN Plus. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we've got NBA on the board, 12-game card, lots of action here from college hoops for you on the ice. As we can see, Big Al has been on absolute tear here. 2,170 units of profit last 30 days. That's all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, there's a lot, Tony. This is my favorite time of year. We've got, the NFL playoffs. We've got college basketball, a lot going on. I've got a 3-pack in the NBA today. I think the NBA record is something like 53-33 for the season. I forget the exact number.
Number one.
It's been a strong. Oh, okay. It's been a strong NBA season. Been a strong college basketball season as well. Combined, it's 140. I think 148 and 104 combined in basketball this year. So it's been going really well. If folks want to get on board, join for a week or for a month. On a nice football run as well, 40-27 last 67 football. I've got 8 football games already posted for the upcoming NFL weekend. I haven't even looked at the college football game. I don't even know if I'm going to have a play on it because I haven't even looked at it, but I will maybe in the next day or two. And then I've got 4 plays in college basketball. Yesterday we were 2-0. We had Chicago State in college. We had the 76ers in the NBA. So 4 plays in college. So 7 plays in all today in basketball, passing, and hockey.
All right, there you go. From Big Al McBoarty, get on board. You see the great results there from Big Al McBoarty. Get on board. 2,170 units of profit last 30 days. Document as well. Of course, Big Al, you have your all-access pass as well. Great value to those that bet big.
Yeah, that's for the high roller who can get down 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 a game. It's all access. They can ask me any question 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If they want additional plays of if they're going to watch a game on ESPN Plus, for example, and they want to know, who's going to win, game, they can call me or text me, and I'll let them know what my thoughts are. And if you want, just text Big Al to 775-636-7676.
There you go. Get in touch there and get started with Big Al's All Access. Now, Big Al, you mentioned Chicago State. I see they're in a back-to-back tonight against Oklahoma State on the road. Dons by 19 and a half tonight.
Yeah, that play actually made my premium play. It's if folks want to get that game, it's one of my 4 basketball plays today.
Nice. Very rare at this time of the year to see a back-to-back. That's what just got my attention in that Chicago State game. All right, Big Al, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Tony. I'll talk to you on Thursday.
You got it. Big Al McBoarty here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, let's go to Wayne's World right now. Bring in Wayne Scott. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in right now. We'll get some NBA rundown from Wayne as well for the games not covered on the show. Big 12-game card, NBA card. Bring him in right now. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope everybody doing good out there today.
Everything's going great tonight. We'll go to the NBA tonight here as we have the Wizards and Cavaliers going head-to-head with Cleveland big favorites here, laying 9, total 238.5.
Yeah, we have a huge line in this one, and as of the last 10, these teams are 5-5 straight up and 5-5 ATS, but Cleveland have won 3 in a row and covered the last 3. Washington 6-26 on the season. In their last 10, 3-7. Doesn't look very good. But if you look at the ATS, this team has been competing and playing better. They're 6-3-1. And on the other side of that, Cleveland 18-15, 5-5 in their last 10, 6-4 in their last 10 ATS. So they've been competing as well. Cleveland coming off 2 losses to Milwaukee and losing on the road to Toronto 121-142. That was a day ago, coming off 1 day's rest. Cleveland is 6-8 off of 1 day's rest, hitting that 42%. On the other side of that, we got Washington. They're coming off a win against the Nets and then a loss against Atlanta. When they're coming off a loss, they are 13-11. I'm sorry, off a loss. To me, in this one, Wizards just have the better offense. Cavs, with the starters they have missing, they're just lacking depth. It's hard for me to trust them. Only guy they have scoring really is Levert. Just not a lot of injuries. We know Cavs to be playing defense. The defense efficiency is decent, but without the guys that they need, they've been struggling. And no 3-point shooting for them. Wizards, some things that they do better than the Cavs. They're a top transition team. They also have a top 10 bench, and they don't turn the ball over at a high clip. I like them better, and they're getting a boatload of points here in this one. Look for the Wizards bench, not the win, but play tough enough to get the cover in this one.
All right, we got Wayne here on the Wizards here, plus the 9.5 up here. We've probably seen some movement in this game. Let me take a look at it here right now. 9.5. A few 9.5s. One of the sharp books offshore still showing 9.5, where the line originates. They used to say that back in the day. Some U.S. MGM, some U.S. sports books as well. 9.5 in this game. One thing with these Wizards, horrible depth on this team. A lot of injuries to some of the starters, but one thing I've noted with this Wizards team, when you can get their core players healthy and you get a boatload of points, I think that's definitely a play on them.
Yeah, definitely. And they're starting to get guys healthy. They're getting Wright coming off. He's a backup point guard who got minutes last year. He actually got a good opportunity to start. So it's a familiar guy that they got plugging back into that bench lineup. The rookie they drafted has been playing outstanding. So I look for him to them to stick him on Mitchell and Levert. The few Cavs players that score, I look for him to give them some fits and kind of slow them up. One thing this Wizards team is great at is scoring. We know they can't play a lick of defense, but they can score. And against a team like the Cavs who struggle with scoring, I just think this is a perfect opportunity for them to cover a big spread like this.
All right, Wayne will be
cover with a big number like this.
Wayne will be on the Wizards here, plus the points. Check, of course, get the best numbers, guys. Do your line shopping. They can find that half point. You never know. It may come into play, so it's the way to play it. All right, Wayne, let's take a look here. As we'll work with Wayne here as we continue on here, do a bit of a rundown for the games not covered here on the show. This is one of them not covered here. Bucks and Pacers. We see the Bucks 3.5, 257.5.
Yeah, man, and Milwaukee 8-2, looking good in their last 10, 6-4 ATS in their last 10. They are coming off a loss to this Indiana team. It looks like a perfect revenge spot. It's a hard one for me because all the numbers and the ATS stats point to Indiana, but Milwaukee in this revenge spot, they've been well. They play a lot of teams more than once, and normally when they lose to a team, they beat the team. It's happened a few times this season, and they lost to Indiana a few times this season. I think they will get them back, although the numbers don't support. Indiana has been playing great on this 4-game winning streak. Their defensive numbers are looking a lot better. They've reduced it by like 10 or 11 points, so they're starting to pick it up a little bit, but it's just not the spot for me to want to take them as home dogs here. Give me the Bucks.
On the Bucks there. Thunder, Hawks, Thunder back-to-back, laying a point, total 248.
Yeah, man, give me the Thunder in this one. Just got to roll with the hot hand in this one. Thunder just playing well in all aspects, and with the depth. Hawks, way too many injuries. Hawks have struggled at home. Thunder playing well on the road. Hawks are just not even covering, let alone picking spots to win at. They still got the same problems. Decent on offense some nights, but no defense. So give me the Thunder here.
All right, we got Pelicans and Chivas. We'll have coverage of this game later on the show. Nets and Rockets here. Rockets laying 4 here on both on back-to-back here. Total 221.
This is a tough one for me here because Nets is just a falling knife right now. They don't play good on the road while the Rockets play. But Rockets missing pieces, and the Nets are healthy, man. So I was leaning Rockets here at the -6, not as -4. I should be still leaning Rockets, but I'm kind of rolling with the Nets here, man, with the injuries that I see on the Rockets side, man. Nets have not been playing great as of late, but I do think this is a game they can come and compete in. I know Nets are off a back-to-back. Spot doesn't look favorable for them, but we seen Charlotte come and get a sneaky win yesterday off a back-to-back when it did.
Yep.
So switch my pick.
There you go.
I'm going with the Nets. I'm going to rock with the Nets.
Right, the Nets of Brooks, and of course the key off the bench has been the rookie Eason out here for Houston. Raptors and Grizzlies going head to head here. Grizzlies about a point favorite, total 227.5.
Yeah, we seen the Raptors make a trade, and they got the win off of that first trade. But I'm still up in the air with that trade. How good those pieces are going to fit in, and Grizzlies got to get back rolling here. I think Raptors struggle against West Coast teams, and they struggle on the road. Grizzlies, with Bane, with the defensive presence they have, my only thing to worry about them is offensively. But Raptors are not a strong offensive team, so I like the Grizzlies here at home.
Grizzlies at home. Bulls and Knicks going to head. This is an ABC game, rare ABC game here on a Wednesday. I'm still figuring out why. But anyway, we see the Knicks favored now down to 8.5, total 220.5.
Yeah, huge spread, but I'm gonna lay with the Knicks, man. I do like the way they were playing, and they inserted OG off the gate. Didn't give him too many heavy minutes, but he contributed big time in those minutes. He knows his role, his defense and threes. He's still a good slasher. I like what I see out of them. They were already a streaky team, but I feel like they filled a hole with that. And Bulls missing guys. They have been rolling as of lately, but I don't like them here in this spot, man. I like the Knicks right here.
Then roll with the Knicks there. Trailblazers, Mavericks here. Big line here. Mavs 12, total 238.5.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Mavericks here, man. I would like to know that full injury report because they do have a lot of guys on that.
I'll update you right now. Here's the update. Luka and Irving will play tonight. Exum out. Holmes questionable here. Simon's questionable on Portland and the 8 out.
Yeah, kind of figured that the Mavs guys were going to play just because of how the line was, but I'm still would like to know which one of those Trailblazer guys are playing. But still too many points, man. We've seen the Mavericks. They win games at home all the time and do not cover. Either they start off slow, Lucas just does a little bit too much, or his shot's not falling, and then or the Cavs can or the Trailblazers can start off fast and then come back. So either or, I just feel like 12 is way too many points in this situation with the Trailblazers playing a lot better as of recently.
All right, we continue here. Jazz and Pistons. Jazz a big favorite, 8.5. Total shoots 40.5.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Jazz in this one, man. I can't touch the Pistons. They did get their win the other day, but Jazz getting healthy. These guys are playing well together. These younger players are coming in and contributing at a high clip, higher than most younger players. And the Jazz normally do that. They do a good job drafting. They get good quality minutes out of their young players early. They either trade them. I don't know why they don't keep them enough, but they end up giving them good minutes. Other side of that, Pistons just not playing well together. They have the names, but we've yet to see them put it together on a consistent basis. I don't trust them here. It's hard to lay this many points at home with the Jazz. We're normally used to getting points with them, but I got to lay it here. Books got it this high for a reason.
That high for a reason. Clippers and Suns. Clippers 4 on the road, total 232.
Yeah, no KD, but I'm still liking the Suns here at home, man. These guys play tough. They've been doing it with the 2 stars and the rest of the role players all season. It's going to be a tough one, man. Clippers fully loaded in this one. Clippers, they just concern me here on the road. They typically play better basketball at home. Mine's here.
All right, Clippers clean injury report there for the Clippers. Also clean for Utah. This one's not clean. This is a lot of mess here in this one. Heat and Lakers here. Lakers 5.5, total 229.
Yeah, give me the Heat in this one, man. Give me the Heat with the points. I never really trust the Lakers laying too many points. Lines done came down some, but I still like the Heat in this spot, man. I got to look at the injury report for the Lakers. I know no Jimmy Butler, but these guys have been playing well with Jaquez in the lineup, and Duncan Robinson. These guys have a lot of guys contributing.
Yeah.
Good rebounding team, solid defensive team, and they're putting it together with the 3-ball. I love the way they've been playing offense. I love watching teams that just don't got one player to key in on. They really move the ball.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, exactly, offense. So give me the Heat here.
Yeah, depth. Highsmith out, Butler out for the Heat. Martin is doubtful. Richardson questionable for the Lakers. No Hachimura, no Russell, no Vincent. So they're missing some depth there. LeBron, as always, questionable on the injury report. Reddish, Davis, probable. Magic and Kings, back-to-backers here. We see the Kings 5, total 231.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Magic here, even though they've been disappointing me. Their shooting woes continue. They're starting to get banged up. But one advantage I think that the Magic have in here, they play West Coast teams outstanding. I want to say they're like 3-7 ATS. I said 3-7, 7-3 ATS. But I think they have an advantage against the Kings with their bigs. So if the Kings don't come out there and just kill them from the 3-point, which I doubt, because Magic play pretty good perimeter defense, I think the Magic can beat them down low, and 5 points is a lot of points here. I think it'll be a close game. If not, the Magic win outright.
There's your NBA rundown here from Wayne. Wayne on record, Wizards plus 9.5 against the Caps tonight. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium for tonight's action. We will have coverage on the games not covered here a little later in the show. I think up next will be that ABC game here. We'll get to the coverage here with and Knicks, but Bill, I should say this one will be coming up next. On the next segment here will be Bulls and Knicks. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium for tonight's action. NBA as well. Lots of college hoops, some on the ice. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Man, very huge. I have 2 different 3-packs, one in the college basketball and one in the NBA. My best bet in both of them. I have 9 plays total, 5 in the NBA, 4 in college basketball. Love this college basketball and NBA card today. If you want to get on those plays, head over to pickdogs.com. If you can pair me up one of these top handicappers that you see here today, you can also grab one of my long-term passes, 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day, as we continue to roll and get this year kicking off, man.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dodge Premium. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. Right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again on tomorrow's show.
I appreciate you for having me, Tony T. Good luck with all your bets out there, Pick Dog family. I'll get at you.
Got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Let's go ahead and welcome in right now Brad Francis. We'll get you that coverage here, NBA, between that Bulls and Knicks game. Of course, you can catch his video series here at Pick Dogs with that video series from the parlays. Bring him in right now. Brad, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Tony? I feel like I haven't been on the drive-thru in forever.
Yeah, it's been forever, right? It's seen you.
Yeah,
right,
I'm on Mondays, so I missed the New Year's. It was New Year's Day and then Christmas, so
yeah,
it feels like forever.
It's the holidays. It's been forever, exactly. So ABC game, Knicks and Bulls going head-to-head here with the Knicks down to 8.5, total 220.
Yeah, it's a ton of points here, but I'm going to take the Knicks laying the 9. I can't take the Bulls in this spot. The Bulls, they will be on the back end of a back-to-back. Last night, they took a brutal double-digit loss to the Sixers. They didn't look good at all. Injuries continue to haunt this team. Looks like Levine and Vucevic will still be out for this one. Patrick Williams is questionable last time I checked. And when it comes to the Knicks, I like this new addition of OG Anunoby. I know you guys talked about it a little, but I think they did give up too much for him, but they were looking for a guy who could play lockdown defense and hit an occasional corner 3, and that's what he's all about. So I'm actually liking this Knicks team. I don't think they win an NBA championship or anything, but I think on these nights where they play a team like the Bulls, I think they could start running it up on these teams. And this is the first time the Knicks and the Bulls have played this season, but the Knicks are 10-4 ATS in the last 14 meetings in the Garden, and I just think this is a bad matchup for the Bulls. Like I said, they're on the back end of a back-to-back. They have some of their top players who are injured, and now they have to play a rested Knicks team in the Garden. I think this one gets out of control. I'll take my chances with the Knicks getting a double-digit win here.
All right, Brad says go Knicks here, -9 here against the Bulls. The Bulls have been able to get it done without Levine, but we're now seeing what happened when Vucevic's out of the lineup, right? We saw that game against the Indiana, against Philadelphia yesterday get a little ugly until the end. The Bulls tried to hit it to get him to cover, but they just couldn't cover the big line as they fell way behind last night.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I saw the Sixers didn't score for 8 minutes or something out of there. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And Yeah, with Vucevic out, I think Embiid had 15 rebounds, so that they need that big guy down there. I just with him out, I mean they were already pretty bad. With him out, it's even worse.
All right, we got Brad here on the Knicks late in the night against the Bulls tonight, 8:30 Eastern time, and they're putting this one over on ABC. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, a big NBA card, 12-game card NBA, lots of college hoops. We got some on the ice. Brad is tearing up in the NBA this year, 1,632 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, so on the site, I have a three-pack. It includes my favorite NHL play, my favorite NBA play, and my favorite college basketball play. Or you could buy my favorite NBA play today separately. If you do have a long-term pass, I have 4 plays total. So yeah, just go on the side. You can see all my packages up there. But I'm ready to have a good year. I'm ready to have a good night. And I feel some momentum right now, so it's a good time to hop on.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Brad Francis over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results from Brad. So great time right now to go ahead and get signed up. Use that promo code Pick at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. You can also add multi-cappers with that multi-capper promotion, make it an even a greater value there. So get signed up with Brad. Great work right there in the NBA. Long-term passes are the way to go. All right, Brad, as always, great having a show. Continue that success. We'll hope to catch up with you again next week. But, of course, check out your video series with those parlays.
Yep, dropping the parlay videos every single day, 365 days a year. So go check those out. They dropped before the games happen. So they're 3-leg parlays. I dabble in all sports, player props, first quarter picks. I get a little weird with them sometimes. So they're fun. And, go check them out.
Check them out indeed. All right, Brad, make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. When Brad drops those videos, you get them right away, get the best numbers. All right, Brad, have a great rest of the night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Good luck tonight.
You as well. Brad Francis here on the Drive to. Let's continue on. We're going to make a move here. We're going to go to Dana next, and then we'll go to Rock as Dana's game starts here in just minutes here. We're going college hoops with Dana. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Everything's going great. Doing great. Boy, I wish I had your college football season.
It's been incredible. I mean, even with the NFL, combined, it's been amazing. I'm really sad to see it go, to be honest with you.
Oh, yes. Boy, fantastic work in college football here from Dana. We're going to college hoops tonight here. Game starting in about 6 minutes away. Indiana State and Evansville going head-to-head. We see Indiana State favorite 15, total 157.5.
Yeah, we're going to go under 159.5 in case you want to get on this right now. This number has moved quite a bit. It was 157.5 at open. We see 159s as a consensus, 159 in one spot. And these are the two top teams in the Missouri Valley Conference in scoring, and they're led by 2 fantastic coaches that are piecing together these programs that really were not very good a couple of years ago, especially David Ragland, who's done a fantastic job. He's a 10-win season this year already, and 6 of those wins have come as an underdog. So have to give him his props, which he's already gotten with an award today. But I'd like to see the Aces be a little bit more reliable from a defensive end, but they've cashed under tickets in 4 of the last 5 games. And I love this scenario, Tony, where I get 2 high-scoring teams, clashing against each other, and usually those games tend to go under because both coaches know that they have to play strong defense against the other top offense. And we have the situation here where both coaches say, look, whoever plays better defense is going to win this game. So I think we are going to have a focus on the under. And of course, we do have one injury with Ben Hummerkaus is out with a foot injury. He's been confirmed. So you're taking 16 points a game out of the lineup there. And look, I mean, if you're able to do that, then you can put another body. You get a couple bodies to stop Isaiah Swope. So if they can do that, I think this game's going to go under the total. And we know that Indiana State's not going to shoot 57% from the field.
Yeah, that's for sure there. We got Dana here going under here, 159. Well, Missouri Valley Conference, you always think in their conference and tournaments, they love to bet those unders. And, of course, we get in that conference action here. And as you said, defenses will start tightening up.
Yeah, I mean, I look for this situation in almost all games. I mean, this number really indicates that it's going to go over, but or it should go over or a high-scoring game. But sometimes the book will adjust it down. Sometimes you'll see a game like this where you think it should be closer to 160, be in that 152, 153 range, which I really love to get involved in. But, this is going – the bettors are going exactly the way that I thought. They pushed this number up, given us a better number, and got a hold of that 159. Wish I got 159.5, but we'll take 159 in this game. But, like I said, Indiana State's 5-0 at home this year. They shot 57% at home. They've averaged 87 points a game. That is not going to hold true. I mean, Evansville's a pretty good defensive team. They allow opponents to shoot only 41% from the field. Even if they douse that percentage down to, say, 47%, that's going to be the 10 to 12 points that we need to go under.
There we go. If you look at Evansville's scoring, this is a new one for me, Dana. Back on November 9th, they hosted St. Louis Pharmacy.
Don't get me started on this. Hey, listen, I was at the game the other day when UNLV played a D3 team, and I don't understand these games, and it seems like they are popping up at this time of year. I mean, we've seen Bethesda make it, and they played UNLV the other night. We've seen Bethesda kind of make the rounds, and it's great because what these games do is they get a chance, to go 11 deep, maybe 12 deep on your bench. Everybody gets double digits in minutes, and everybody's happy. But these teams that come off of these type of games never play well. I just think there's nothing but bad habits that can happen.
Yep. That's inside this. The name just they say those pharmacies.
I know.
I've never heard of that. What the hell is this? We got a pharmacy school. A pharmacy school is now sporting a college basketball team. Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't it every single year? I had a friend years ago that we would laugh about it's not like it even is today. Like there was 200 teams back then when we would laugh about all the new names that would come up, and it is insane all the new names that come up. We did almost have a D3 team beat Rutgers a couple of weeks ago or a week ago as a 26-point underdog. So we almost had that, but listen, I don't think teams play well coming off of these games, and I know you want to. I know there is some good, and that's why all these colleges schedule games like this, but I tend to really go against those teams, especially if they're a hefty favorite the next game.
All right, Dana here, Evansville, Indiana, here under 159. ESPN Plus will televise. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, big NBA card as well coming up here tonight. A huge college basketball now as we're right into conference play. We mentioned Dana's fantastic work in college football this year, over 3,000 units of profit all talking. We've got the championship game coming on Monday. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Everything is up there right now. We have an NBA 3-pack that's locked and loaded. We have the NHL, which it kind of takes a back seat. Absolutely been on fire in the NHL. You would check my last 30, my last 7 record. And, of course, we have a massive college basketball card up there, too. And we'll have football up there soon. And really sad to see college football going, like I said. But it's still the NFL, still doing very well in the NFL. So there's plenty of money to be made.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Dana Lane over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from Dana. Great time to get aboard a long-term pass to 3-7 or third-day all-sports pass. Get all of Dana's premium plays for that time period you select. When you go to his handicap page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off, right? Dana, is always great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know about your video series Against the Public.
Yeah. Against the Public is my video series, and I try to put that up super early now, and I appreciate everybody that has left great comments and watched. It continues to grow today. Looks like it's going to be its biggest viewer count ever, so I appreciate that. And we're just going to keep on growing this stuff, and I love to give out free plays. We've been absolutely killing it, so we're going to try to continue to do that tonight. And just thank you for everybody that has got involved in that, because if nobody watches, then there's no sense of doing it. But it continues to grow. I'm excited to see where it can go.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Dana's videos drop, you get them in real time. All right, Dana. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, you too, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Dana Lane here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Let's welcome in Rod Zawacki. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Rod in right now here. I think we'll be set to go here in just a second. Rod Zawacki with the hockey coverage tonight. Rod, what's that? Oh, we lost Rod. We might have lost Rod there for a second. Let's see. Maybe we lost him. Maybe he's doing videos. Let's see where we got here with Rod Zawacki. Maybe I don't know what happened. We lost him on the on the site here, so maybe he has some connection issues here. So we'll continue on here on the drive-through, and we'll get to my pick, and then maybe Rod can get Zach signed back in again. So let's go ahead and continue on here on the show. We will get to my game, and then we'll get to Rod, or we'll just go ahead and do the. We will do the. What we're saying? I was thinking right here. We will go ahead and do the recap. Is what I wanted to get at. All right, here we go. Pelicans and T-Wolves going head-to-head tonight. We're going to be on the points here with the Pelicans in this spot against Minnesota. Let's take a look here at what we've got here on the wire here as far as the. Let's see here. That Pelicans injuries there. Murphy and Ryan. So we've got McCollum, Ingram, Williamson in the line of Valanciunas. So we got a pretty healthy Pelican squad, and I'm gonna go with here with New Orleans in this spot here. Let me just get my notes together. I was expecting the notes for Rod, but I know where it is right now. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and pull them up here in just a second here. We'll give you some of my thoughts on this game here between the Pelicans and the Minnesota Timberwolves that are going head-to-head here at about 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're looking at this one here. Well, basically, New Orleans, we look at how they've been able to step up their defense over the past 5 games, holding teams to 104 points per 100 possessions, about a plus 11.5 net rating. They're only allowing 44% shooting in this span, and we take a look here at we look at the offensive production here for this Timberwolves team over their past 5 games, just a -1 net rating. Just again, I've got Zion, I've got Ingram, McCollum in the lineup. That's definitely going to improve their efficiency here for the Pelicans. So we'll take the Pelicans here +6 minus +5.5. Do your line shopping, get the best numbers if you can. All right. Check me out over at Pick Stream. We got a 3-pack up on the board tonight. 3 plays here from the NBA. Also, college hoops, the best bet for you. So get on board. Remember, you can use promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. You can also use add additional capper here with the 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, let's continue on here. Let me just see if I got any notes from Rod. Lost Rod there on the signal here. Let's see here. Usually he'll send me a message or something. Maybe he's having some issues with his connection. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, nothing there from Rod. I don't have Rod's screen up. So, okay, we got his pick. So let's just go right to the recap, if you would. Now, the recap for today. And we'll go ahead and print that up here. All right. We started off here with Chris. He liked the Maple Leafs in regulation, -135 against the Ducks. Mitch was on Miami money line, -104 against Clemson. Al McWarty, Western Carolina, -3 against Citadel. Wayne was on the Wizards, +9.5 against the Cavs. Brad on the Knicks, -9 against the Bulls. Rod says Devils Capitals over 6.5. Dana says Evansville, Indiana, under 159. I'll be on the Pelicans, +6 against the T-Wolves. The one I like the most, I like Wayne's pick on the Wizards, +9.5 here against the Cavaliers. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition here of the Drive-Thru, unless I can see Rod's game is going off at the bottom of the hour. I don't see Rod. Don't know where he disappeared. I mean, I don't have my Wi-Fi right now. My Wi-Fi just shut down here, so I was trying to look at follow the chat comments. Maybe I can get it back again here. Let's see if we got it. Let's see here. It's trying to connect. Tap to retry. Maybe we got our Wi-Fi signal back. I can follow the comments, but I guess not. All right, that's going to do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru. Guys, be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our Cavers and Big Dogs and Sports Chat place. Look at their plays in real time. Remember, it always begins here with a morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. You got Mitch, you've got Jay, you got Chris. Ramen Early, we'll check in as well with that morning show. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools show is roundtable with the discussion with the professionals. Also, we want to check out Rod's NHL A to Z. This video series here over at Pick Dogs. Also a parlay in there. Of course, we got Chris's wraparound from the NHL, Ron Romanelli, college basketball, college football rundown, Jay's jam session, NFL and NBA, Big Al McMorty with his all access against the public betting there with Dana Lane. Also, Brian Biller with his sharp picks as well here from our man Brian Biller. And of course, we got the parlay video here from Brad. First half NBA with Nick Menken. Mills with his UFC rundown, as well as Mills with his prop shop every day here on the Pick Dogs channel. So you guys make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when this video is dropped, you get them in real time. All right, that's going to do it here. I guess I've lost my Wi-Fi, so I can't pull up any of the comments. But again, I appreciate everyone's contributions on the show today, and that's going to do it for the show. So let's go ahead and bring in our crew for tonight. Goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening.